Welcome to another edition of Soul on Soul with Phinesse. Oh, it's such a pleasure. We are in our new digs, so we're getting our office. For those who did see the video, when we air the video, for those on radio, you don't have no idea what I'm talking about. But we are in our new digs over here at the Baltimore Times. We're glad to be with them. And speaking of, Soul on Soul with Phinesse is being sponsored by the Baltimore Times.
Wonderful.
Baltimore Times is the black newspaper out of Baltimore, Maryland. You can go visit them online, Baltimore Times /online, Baltimore Times newspaper .online.com. So check them out. A lot of the artists that we've been interviewing will be spotlighted in the Baltimore Times newspaper. That'll be happening real soon. We'll let you know what that is. We gotta thank the Baltimore Times for coming on and being a sponsor. Now, you know how we do. You know how the soul do. We like to have these great guests on the show. And ladies and gentlemen, you can hear him in the background with that voice. I got to get that deep voice going on.
My voice is not that deep.
it is a legendary or soon to be legendary artist. You got to check your soul tracks, your urban influencers, digital tracker. Look up the man, Roderick Harper. He is my guest today on Soul with Phinesse. So, Mr. Harper, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I've been looking forward to this.
All right. You know, I want you, for the folks who don't know you, can you give them some background on who you are and how you got started in the music business?
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I am a native Washingtonian. Surprise. My parents are from Louisiana. So I basically went to school in the DC, Maryland area, graduated from high school, went to college at Southern University in Louisiana. From there, I started singing. My degree was in political science, but I minored in jazz study because really I already knew that all I ever wanted to do was sing. And I sang a lot in high school and, choirs and stuff like that. But of course, both of my parents were educators. So they were like, oh, you got to have something to fall back on. And so they encouraged me to do other things. But I knew what I wanted to do. So when I got to Southern, I was able to freely pursue the things that I wanted to do while pursuing my education in the field of political science. So I came across a gentleman by the name of Alvin Batiste, who he's passed away, but he's a famous jazz clarinetist. Very well known in Louisiana. And he mentored me in terms of getting me, helping me develop myself as a vocalist. Initially, when I was exploring it professionally, my pursuit was jazz, but I love all types of music. And I've been singing all types of music like forever. So I started singing that through the jazz ensembles, but then I was also a part of music fraternity, which allowed me to pursue some of my R&B aspirations as well. So I started developing that stage presence and just the whole thing. By the time I was getting ready to graduate, I had a choice of going right into the Southern University Law Center, or at the time I started singing with a gentleman by the name of Ellis Marsalis, who is the patriarch of the Marsalis family, Wynton Marsalis and his whole, all of his brothers. So I decided that's what I wanted to do. So I started working with him and then started singing on my own with my own group. I was also teaching school during the day. I was a school teacher. And really just trying to pursue my dream, which has always been singing, performing, recording. And that's like a very general overview of me
Mhm.
in terms of the music.
So I've got to seeing that you ended up in Southern and Louisiana. Your
Yes,
musical career has been a gumbo because you
absolutely.
were here in DC, and DC is a different flavor of the sound of music. And then when you go to Louisiana, there's a difference. And people don't know culturally, there's different sound when it comes to black and soul music. Can you talk about the difference of the music that you ventured when you were in DC, then when you came to Louisiana, what that difference was like, and how that meshed with how you became who you are today?
Well, absolutely. Definitely when I was coming up, I mean, go-go is always big in DC, but like, there was, that was back during when we had the giant beatboxes
Mm-hmm.
and you had to buy like 40 batteries just to put into it for your cassettes. So, growing up in DC, I was heavily influenced, of course, by go-go. I used to go to, of course, like the Ibex and the Coliseum and places like that. And as I mentioned before, like we used to have like the big beat boxes where you, the big boom boxes, where you put a whole bunch of batteries in it just for, to play cassettes and stuff. So I was heavily influenced by that. But then I was also influenced by WHUR back in the day. There was a guy named Melvin Lindsay
Mm-hmm.
who was like one of the originators, at least in the DC area, of the Quiet Storm. And so that also was a big influence in terms of being exposed to like Norman Connors, Phyllis Hyman. There's all kinds of people like that. On top of that, my parents were very cultured, so they used to expose me to a lot of live music at a very young age. My first concert, the first concert I actually went to that I remember was, I think it was 1974. It was Donny Hathaway and Roberta Flack at the Carter Barron.
Mm-hmm.
And that, back then I know what I was listening to, but I didn't realize until later on how significant, that experience actually was. Because not too long after that, Donny Hathaway was no longer, with us. And then also my mother used to teach with at the same high school with Roberta Flack. So I had an opportunity to not talk to her, but I met her on a few occasions, through my mother. But yeah, so
Right.
very
So
diverse.
So let me ask this, because I always ask music artists. I know people that listen to the show every week. They say, "Why do you always ask this question?" Because it's nice to see the artist's response to this question. Because no answer is the same. No artist have ever answered this question the same. And based on your experience, you have seen different levels of soul music. So
Absolutely.
my question to you would be, what is Roderick's definition of soul music? If you can see the look on his face, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, I have to put it this way. I'm an introvert. I'm an introvert who, in small circles, as an extra, I've learned to become more extroverted. But the soul of that, the heart of who I'm just a very intimate introvert type of person. And I'm also an only child. Well, only man, but only child. And so I internalize a lot of things. Mm-hmm. And so soul music, music in general, but more specifically like soul music, it touches the core. It allows me to, I guess, get validation on different things that I'm experiencing in my life. Sometimes it gives answers. Sometimes it's a release of, like it makes you feel sometimes when, depending on the lyric or the mood that the music puts you in, it lets you know that you're not in it alone, and it just helps you just I live through music, and soul music is at the core of like who I am. You know, it just helps me. Music, it's been there when no one else has been there. You know, I would be in my room by myself, you know, as an only child, you know, entertaining yourself for hours. And music, it was me and my record player, my screwdriver in the mirror singing, you know, pretending I'm singing to thousands of people, you know, watching Soul Train, growing up watching Soul Train, pretending I was on Soul Train. Me and my best friends pretending we were Shalimar. Of course, I was Howard Hewitt. You know, so it's been everything to me. It's just it's what it is. It's the soul of, in terms of me, it's the soul of who I am, and it's a way for me to express who I am.
Okay. Now, before we go into our first break, I always give the artists an opportunity to share their website and their social media. Can you share that with everyone while they're listening? My
website is very easy. It's www.roderickharper. That's RODERICKHARPER.com. There are a few Roderick Harpers out there, but if you see the one with the mic, then you know, then you know that's me. My Instagram is I am Roderick Harper. My Facebook is Roderick Harper, but I also, the main one that I have two Facebook pages. The main Facebook page is Roderick Harper Muhammad, but I share everything together. So if you see one, you see the other. And it'll have basically the same photos on it, so you'll know that it's me.
All right. Now, when we come back from this break, we're going to get into talking about being an independent artist and his music. So don't go anywhere. Come right back. Soul on Soul with Phinesse. We got more. And don't forget. And don't forget to follow Soul on Soul with Phinesse on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We're all over the place, as well as My Soul Radio. Follow them and download the My Soul Radio app so you can listen to it on all your digital devices. All right. We'll be back with more from Roderick Harper right here on My Soul Radio and Soul on Soul with Phinesse. Corey's going to kill me for that one. We'll be right back.
You know, baby, I don't think you really understand how much you mean to me. I'm wondering, at a thought of you the other day, my mind's going crazy. You put a smile upon my face, and I want to say, thoughts of you in the morning make me smile in the afternoon. Dinner is served when I get off work, I'm rushing home to you, ready, willing, and able to do what I have to do, to always make you feel special. You know I'm here for you, baby. You're my lady, the only one in my life, and God sent you to me, and me to you, yeah. You know I adore you. You're a goddess of love. I'm always gonna be faithful, yeah. Tell the truth no matter who or what. And I'm gonna be by your side. Good or bad, we will survive. I never want to lose your love. Without you, I'll just die. I need you by my side. Yeah. Work rushing home to you. I'm ready, willing, and able. To do what I have to do. Do what I have to do. Special. Yeah. You know I'm here. You know I'm here for you. Yeah, baby. Thoughts of you in the morning. Thoughts of you make me smile in the afternoon. Dinner is served when I get off work. I'm rushing home. Gotta get home to you. Ready, willing, and able. Gotta do what I gotta do. To be wanna do so it always make you feel special. You know I'm here for you.
Welcome back, Soul on Soul with Phinesse. Roderick Harper here is my guest today, and we're talking music, and he has a plethora of different sounds and styles. I want to ask this question. As an independent artist, you were in more control of your career in being who you wanted to be. In saying that, for someone who hasn't quite heard your music yet, what would you describe from your sound and who you are?
Very personable. Wow, that's a big question. Wow. I would say that it is, because for me, it's very much a self-expression. Mm-hmm. So based on whichever project you pick up, you will get an idea of where I am at a particular part of my life or my journey. Mm-hmm. At this stage, especially like with the most recent project, I'm on the after side of a former marriage, but it's more reflective in terms of looking at it in a positive aspect of growth in myself and figuring out who I am, as mm-hmm. well as sharing. I just think I'm very relatable in terms of my experiences. A lot of times people don't sing about how they really feel. Mm-hmm. They sing more about like fantasy type of things. And with this latest project, all the lyrics were written by me. So they come from a very special place in terms of my aspirations for the future, in terms of love, happiness, fun, and so I just think that it's a little different from everybody else because although, again, I like all types of music, when you listen to like the music may relate to some people, but when you have the music and then you listen to the lyrical content of what I'm talking about, it's a little different from what some others that you might typically hear on the radio or people that you follow, if you really listen to what I'm saying. And hopefully you can gather something from it. Not that I know everything, but just pick up from whatever my experiences are, and hopefully it'll just make you feel good to say, oh yeah, I get that, or I did that, or I can relate to that. So yeah.
So is this your first project that you have ever put out?
No. This is my fifth CD.
Mm-hmm. So
as a solo artist, then I've also done some other things through other people.
Mm-hmm.
But this is my first R&B. I've sung R&B for years, but this is my first R&B venture on, documented.
Mm-hmm. And that title of that project is entitled what?
Back to Love.
Back to Love.
Yes.
And I want to read something that's on your website, and maybe that'll explain the title of your song.
Okay.
You say you spent the last few years deep in the process of self-discovery and change. You've been trying to understand yourself and peeling off the cellophane that really gets at what's underneath. This album is the sound of me becoming the man I always meant to be.
Absolutely.
All right. So explain that. Explain that whole process there. As briefly as you can.
Yeah.
That sounds.
It's a lot.
We don't find, as you said earlier, this is different from the 80s and 90s where men were more expressive about love and being hurt. We are now in a stage where there's a lot of mental health. And I believe a lot of artists go through mental health, and some have come out and admitted it, but we haven't really addressed it and talked about it.
Absolutely.
You're talking about, from this project, from what I listened to, there's a lot of songs that men can relate to. So how was it for you putting out this material and being so honest and heartfelt about it? What were you trying to accomplish with this?
Going into it, I did not say, well, I want to accomplish this. It was more, it was extremely therapeutic for me. Mm-hmm. It was extremely therapeutic because in my past projects, I may have written like one or two records on each record, and I would find songs that touched me and I could relate to, and I would express them and interpret them. But this time, it was all me, and I needed that. It was another step in me working out myself in terms of, divorce. Divorce is not something that I wanted, but divorce was something that I had to make a decision to do, and it's no slight to her. It was me, because I was the person that said, "Will you marry me?" You know what I'm saying? So it's my decision. So it's not her fault at all. It's me, and there was no infidelity or anything like that. It's just it didn't work out. And I had to man up and acknowledge that and step away from that for my own mental health, really. But then to discover that I had lost myself. I didn't know who I was coming out of that situation because I had poured so much into trying to make it work, and it didn't work. So there was a period where I was just really just empty. I had to sit in silence and figure out who I was, then figure out what I wanted. Mm-hmm. And these are all different separate steps. And then trying to figure out how to go about getting what I want. And that's like on all aspects of life in terms of living, just my children, just everything. So a part of that process, I literally started over. Like I started back even before, in terms of, you want to call it levels, I started lower than where my parents left me when I graduated from college. They made a lot of things possible for me. So I was sitting at a certain position. But when I came out of this situation, I was at a whole nother level. And so that I had never been at before and never experienced. So I had to find my way. And so that's what this journey has been over the past few years, is finding my way and in steps. And part of that, the music has always been there to help me. You know, the previous album before that, Evolving, was another part of that process. But this is like the next step where now, okay, the bitterness is gone. I'm forgiving myself. I'm going from not liking myself to liking myself, starting to fall in love with myself, starting to analyze what I learned out of that situation. And part of the way that I did that was through writing and the music. And it wasn't like I intentionally, when I would listen to the music, this stuff just started coming out of me. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to write a song about this. I'm going to write. It would just come out. And I just allowed it to, you know, and this sounds corny, but I just allowed myself to be a vessel and just let it come out. You know, there were certain things when I was writing, it was like, you know, my whole thing in terms of me growing and developing is to always try to be positive. Because if you put positive in the atmosphere, of course, it's going to come back to you. So I try not to speak negative about anything, if at all possible. And so that was also therapeutic because even in some of your hurt, you have to find a way to find a positive out of that. And so that forced me to look at those situations. When I'm writing on paper and I'm reading them and I'm looking at them, it's like, okay, well, how can you express this in a way that's positive, that actually help me, and hopefully, like when people hear it, you know, it might give them some comfort or an idea of how they can deal with theirs. You know,
I want to ask.
That answers your question.
No, it did, because it gives a deeper perspective of you as a man and as an artist. So, and you come to appreciate that, and in my opinion, it should make people want to hear more of what you have to sing about. So I like asking those questions when an artist is willing to open up and not say things that they think people want to hear.
I have no layers. This is why I don't know how to pretend like that.
and you released other projects as well, but I always say that it's a defining project for an artist. Yes, it sounds to me like this project is a defining project for you. Do you believe that's true? Absolutely.
In so many ways. Yeah, it's so many ways.
Okay. All right.
I learned a lot about myself.
Okay. Well, what we're going to do, I know we've got a couple of tracks from you, and going into the break, we're going to play one. I'm not sure which one Corey's going to play. But it's music from Roderick Harper from his latest CD, Back to Love.
That's right.
It's a dope project. Make sure you check it out. And when we come back, we're going to talk about some of the guests that he has on this project as well. So come on back. Soul on Soul with Phinesse, Roderick Harper on mysoulradio.com. And let me get this right. Follow My Soul Radio on all social media platforms. Make sure you download the app, mysoulradio.com. There, I got it out properly.
That's right.
And I got to say thank you to our new sponsor, the Baltimore Times newspaper. Make sure you go look them up online. We'll be back. Here's music from Roderick Harper, and we got more on the way. Soul on Soul with Phinesse. We'll be right back.
I'm tired of arguing with you.
I'm tired of arguing with you too. This is exhausting.
So, what are we doing?
The fact that you had to ask that, you know what, just...
Life will lose.
Come in.
Yo, Rod, what's up, man? Just got the text message. What's going on?
Man, we going through it.
There's no place.
Again? You know what you need, man? distraction. Meet me at the lounge tonight. All right. Cool. Be there. All right. Peace.
I'd be so lost. I'm just sitting in our room tonight, thinking about how we just had a fight, wondering how I'm gonna make it right. Misunderstanding, we always seem to work it out, listening to each other, that is how. There will be those times we disagree. The winner don't have to be me. Make it last forever. Nothing would be better. Yeah. Always growing stronger. Gonna make a love last longer. Learning how to listen more and more. More and more. Mutual expression, that's mature. That's mature. Validate her thoughts, don't close the door. Close the door. Make her feel secure. In the past, I have indeed made mistakes. Those decisions aren't the ones I'd make today. I'm the kind of man that seems to learn the hard way. Not looking back, moving forward. Make it last forever. Nothing would be better. Yeah. Always growing stronger. Gonna make a love last longer. Make it last forever. Nothing would be better. Yeah. Always growing stronger. Gonna make a love last longer. I will try to be open to you, but you have to let me in your heart too. We must work on it every day. Trust, believe, and pray. Make it last forever. Baby, yeah. Nothing would be better. Would be better, baby. Yeah. Always growing stronger. We're growing stronger. Gonna make this last longer. Gonna make it last forever. We keep trying. Nothing would be better. Would be better, baby. Yeah. Always growing stronger. Yeah. Keep getting stronger and stronger. Gonna make it last longer. Make it last longer. Make it last forever. Gonna make the love last longer. Make it last forever. Nothing would be better, yeah. Would be better, yeah. Make it last forever.
Well, we're back. Song on Soul Phinesse. I know you enjoyed that record from Roderick Harper, because I know I love it. You know, I've been listening to it for a minute. I think when I responded to him in the email or Jay, I said, yo, I'm listening to this brother right now. So I love your music and your sound.
Appreciate this.
And one of the things I like is when artists give props to other artists. I'm going to give you the opportunity right now to do that on your project, Back to Love. Who are some of the artists that you work with?
Well, the first person I definitely have to give props to is Andrew Drewski. He is the producer, and he helped develop most of the music for the project.
Mm-hmm.
He's the main producer for the record, and he is actually a 2-time Grammy nominee, award-winning songwriter. He's written for like Fantasia and a bunch of different people. But I met him through my cousin, who is my heart, which I have to thank her also, is Dawn Richard, who was a part of Danity Kane and Diddy Dirty Money. So I met him through her maybe like 10, 12 years ago, because he worked on some of her first few solo projects. And we've been in touch ever since then. When I decided that I wanted to step out there and try to document an R&B project, the very first person I thought of to do it that I felt comfortable with trying to help me was Drew, because he knows the music. We're also fellow Cancer, so he already understands me. And so we started working together on the project, song by song. Then I also incorporated, through my manager, a young man out of Mississippi named Donald Love. They call him D-Love. And he's the one that I co-wrote Heart's Desire with, which is one of my favorite songs on the project. So he's another talented artist. When it came to the song that I did with Drew called Speechless, I had recorded the song, but the whole time I heard the song, it was like I kept hearing a rapper. I needed a rapper for the project. And you know, I came up in a different age of hip hop, so I'm not too hip on the hip hop of this time. So here living in New Orleans, initially what I did, because I'm sorry, I'm jumping around. I moved from, I lived in Chicago when I was married. And so of course I knew a lot of people there. So I reached out to some of the young rappers that I knew from there first. And things didn't work out. And so I was about to give up on trying to get a rapper for the song. And I spoke to my minister here, he's pretty, well, he's younger than I am, but and I was like, do you know any nice, conscious rappers, not talking crazy and stuff like that, And he said, he told me about this guy named OGJ Lyric. And so I saw one or two of his videos and listened. I was like, yes. I said, please, I asked him if he'd be willing to do it. So he sent him, the song, and he immediately said, yes. We met. I mean, it literally happened like this. We set up a studio time, and I tell you, when he went into that booth and he literally ran down this thing like maybe two, 3 times. And it was in the studio, literally, like you would have chills, like this is it right here. So and he's a beautiful young man, beautiful spirit, very, very soulful, very soulful. Mm-hmm. And that worked well. The video we did together worked well. That was fun. That was a great experience. But then I also have to give props to my minister, Willie Muhammad, who he's very much in touch with the youth here in Louisiana. And so I wanted to incorporate something that would help tie in my project and how I feel about different things. So I just remembered a portion of one of his lectures. And so I asked him if I could use it. And he was like, yeah. So that's how I put his who is to blame for the unanswered dreams and prayers. And that's how he became a part of the project. But yeah.
All right. So let's talk about the single. I believe it's Back to Love. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Back to Love. That's not the latest single.
No, well, you line them up. We'll take them both. We'll play them both.
The latest single is actually Here for You.
Okay.
Actually, I've released really everything on the CD at this point.
And you did.
Every single song has a video.
Mm-hmm.
But back to Love. Really, I'll answer that question. Back to Love is basically, in terms of, initially is like me falling back in love with myself and who I am, which is still an ongoing process. Okay. Especially when you feel like you've encountered failure, and you have to pick yourself up and keep going. Back to Love is still having faith in love, and still yearning for love. And so that was essentially what that song is about. All the songs really deal with love, just in different aspects of it. If you want, I can run through them real briefly. Do you have enough time to do that?
Well, no. You know what? Let's play Back to Love, and then when we come back, it'll be our last segment. You can run through the songs and definitely talk about your latest single. I would talk about that. So here's Back to Love, Soul on Soul with Phinesse on mindsoulradio.com. We'll be right back.
All right.
I'm sitting there chilling. Take more from me. Doing some crazy shit, so I'm just sitting there just.
You even inside your shoes there? I'm about to put that. Oh, you mad at life? It's coming all in your head like this. What you mad about? Got the water?
Let's just go. Let's sing about it.
Oh, you ready? Because you just came. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Come on, y'all. Yeah. Hey, we ready because he just came.
get back to love. Your search is over, it's in my arms. It's in my arms. Baby, time to get back to love. Give it to me, give me a chance. It's you that I adore. So many times I put my heart on the line, but I've been refused, made up, and now I learned my lesson. Gotta let it go. Now I'm stronger now, and can't nobody knock me down. And that's why I'm the perfect man for you. Ooh. Baby, time to get back to love. Your search is over, it's in my arms. It's in my arms. Baby, time to get back to love. Give it to me, give me a chance. It's you that I adore. Baby, baby, won't you be my lady? Baby, baby, 'cause I wanna be a man. Maybe, maybe you could take a chance and maybe, and maybe get back to love. Ooh.
Now I told you folks this album was hot. Back to Love is my joint.
Yes.
All the songs are good. Now, before I let you run through the list of songs real quick, Roderick, where can people go see all the videos for this album right now?
You can go to YouTube. It's under I am Roderick Harper. Or you can go to, if you go to any one of my social media pages, there's a link tree in my profile. You click on that and you can find everything.
Okay.
Music and videos.
All right. Now, before we get up out of here, I'm going to let you run through because you're so excited about this album.
Yes.
Take it away. Let people know what's
All
on the album, and then let us know what your latest single is.
Okay. So it opens up with a song called Speechless, which basically is talking about how at the point where I realized that that I had to let my wife go and do what was best for her, you know, and I wished her well. And there was no, I was trying to let her know that there was no ill will, you know, that I love you. That, and it's almost that the corny thing, you know, I love you, so I gotta let you go. Right. So that's what that one was about. Harsh Desire is my forever quest to find that one true love, and hoping that this next one will be the one. So that's what that one is about. Then the interlude, which I told you about from Minister, then Make It Last Forever is about being in love and trying to make that love it. Make that just be it. Back to Love, we talked about already. And then the latest single, Here For You, is basically, I guess you could say it's the male version of Cater to You. It wasn't intended to be that way, but now that I'm thinking about it, it's kind of the same kind of a thing. You know, I'm here at your service. I'm here. Whatever you want, whatever you need, you got it.
All right, ladies, you hear it, and fellas, you know we needed an anthem, and I believe Roderick gave us our anthem. So right. It's been a pleasure to have you on this show.
The pleasure's mine. I appreciate it.
And like I told all my guests, once you're on Soul with Phinesse, you are family. So you either uncle, the aunt, whatever. But we are soul connected.
That's right. I like that. Soul connected.
Soul connected. Don't no one take that now. All you other radio stations and bloggers that are listening, that's our term. So, Corey, Make sure you mark that down so we can send that to our lawyer.
Trademark that.
There you go. Soul Connected. You heard it first here. But man, anytime you have any music, and when we start booking shows, Koy and I right now, we're looking at artists that we've had on the show, and we're pretty much everyone that we have, we want to try to bring to Baltimore or Atlanta to do shows. You're one of the ones we have on the list.
Please, I really would love to do that. I haven't been home in so long, so I definitely would like to do that. And I love Atlanta as well.
All right, and we have a place down in Bethesda. They just opened up. I just got an email that they're ready to book. So we're going to start looking, and so
call Jay.
hey, they'll be calling me after this. Be like, hey, bro.
I know it.
Because you know he's listening. Hey, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So. But thank you so much for being on the show.
You.
And the name of the new single, because we're going to play it right now as we get out of here.
Here for You.
All right. Here for You, the male version of Cater to You. Soul on Soul Phinesse. You know how we do every Sunday at 10 p.m. on mysoulradio.com. And once again, I gotta say thank you. There is no way, and I know Koy feels the same way. We had no idea that when we did this podcast, based on the show, that the podcast will be just as big as the show. We're getting tons of love from around the globe, and we appreciate it. If you missed any of this show or any of the interviews we have done, make sure you go to the podcast, which is available on any podcast site, Spotify, iTunes, podbean.com is our podcast site. Amazon, we've seen our stuff on Amazon. So I thank all the artists for being on, like Roderick. So if you missed the interview, it'll be up tomorrow, which is Monday, on the platform. So until we meet again next Sunday on Soul on Soul with Phinesse, we got to get out of here. Stay soul connected. I got it. Soul connected. Right. I love that. Stay soul connected.
You need to come up with some T-shirts for that.
Definitely. I'm going to write this down right now. Stay soul connected, and we'll see you next Sunday. Peace.
All right. Peace.
You know, baby, I don't think you really understand how much you mean to me. I'm wondering, at a thought of you the other day, my mind's going crazy. You put a smile upon my face, and I want to say, thoughts of you in the morning make me smile in the afternoon. Dinner is served and I get off work, I'm rushing home to you, ready, willing, and able to do what I have to do, to always make you feel special. You know I'm here for you, baby. You're my lady, the only one in my life, and God sent you to me, and me to you, yeah. You know I adore you, beauty, you're a goddess of love. I'm always gonna be faithful, yeah. Tell the truth no matter who or what. And I'm gonna be by your side. Good or bad, we will survive. I never wanna lose your love. Without you, I'll just die. I need you by my side. Yeah. I'm rushing home to you. I'm ready, willing, and able to do what I have to do. Yeah, baby. Make me smile in the afternoon. Dinner is served when I get off work. I'm rushing home. Gotta get home to you. Ready, willing, and able. Gotta do what I gotta do today. Wanna do so it always make you feel special. You know I'm here for you.
Solo and Soul with Phinesse. 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 This has been another Soul Media production.